Today we're going to do a DIY doser for Kalkwasser that costs next to nothing. Let's start by going over what we're going to need to put this together today. I've got my drill, the drill bit. The drill bit diameter is just slightly larger than the size of the airline tubing that I have. I've got a plastic container that's going to hold the Kalkwasser and freshwater solution. And then I have this Kalkwasser that I got from Bulk Reef Supply. Now I did get this specific Kalkwasser jug a while ago. This stuff will last you a long time, but you can get on their website and find they have different Kalkwasser options, relatively cheap too. One's like $17 for an individual bag, and they've got a starter kit for under 40 bucks. So, all right, first step, we are gonna drill a hole in the top of our plastic container here. The idea is the airline's gonna go in. The end of the airline's gonna be just above the bottom of the container here. That way it doesn't pick up any sediment particulates off the bottom. And it's just going to run right out the top. We're going to create a siphon. It's going to run down, tie a knot in the airline, and create a drip down into the sump so that it's slowly adding Kalkwasser. You don't want to overdo it early, especially because a big swing in the calcium and pH can be very harmful to the fish and any corals that you might have. So let's start here. Get us a hole drilled on top. Okay, now the hole is drilled. I will make sure to clear all these little plastic debris and stuff. We definitely don't want that stuff getting in the tank. We just need to check and make sure our airline tubing is going to fit. Get that lined up there. And we're going to push that down until it reaches near the bottom. But we don't want to go too deep because you don't want to suck up any of the stuff that settles at the bottom of your container here. So next we're going to rinse this out, and I'm going to show you how to mix the Kalkwasser and get the siphon going at a nice slow drip. Alright, now we're going to go through putting some Kalkwasser in this container, mixing it with water. Now it's important to understand how much to dose. It's recommended that per gallon your dosing be in between half of a teaspoon and 2 teaspoons depending on the demand for your tank. The safe bet's probably to start out with less and see how it goes. So I've got this little measuring cup here that is 1 teaspoon, and I already went and took a measuring cup and measured out how much water this holds. So this is just over 1 gallon, and I'm going to do 1 teaspoon for the 1 gallon, because I don't actually have any corals in my tank at the moment. We're getting ready to start adding corals. I have an anemone and some fish, but this all started because I checked and my pH is low, and Kalkwasser can help correct that and maintain pH along with your calcium levels, which may be depleted when coralline algae grow or corals grow and that kind of stuff. So that's my hands off here. So I'm going to add the water to this, and we're going to give it a good stir, and it's going to look milky and cloudy, and then it should clear up after a few minutes. So definitely wait until it's clear, that way you're not adding a milky substance to your aquarium. It might cause it to get cloudy and stuff, but once it's been mixed, you shouldn't agitate it anymore if you can. The more you agitate it, the more exchange it's going to have with CO2, and it's going to cause it to be less effective. So we're going to go ahead, add some warm water right out of the tap. And then we'll give it a stir, put the lid on, and get it set up to siphon. That's going to work. I don't want to overfill it because I don't want to make a mess. Now, I do recommend you try not to get the Kalkwasser on your skin and your eyes. Definitely don't ingest it. It can be an irritant. I've not had it irritate my skin particularly, but I wouldn't like to take the risk, so if I can find something in here to give this a good stir with. Make sure we clean it up good afterwards. Make these a knife. Give this a stir. Make sure we can get this stuff as well dissolved as possible. Sorry if that light back there is blinding you guys. Hopefully the audio comes out alright. So we're going to give this a good stir. Make sure I water that. Here's our lid with our tubing. Put this lid on here well. We don't want any of that to evaporate, and we want to reduce the exchange with the air as much as possible. So next I'm going to show you where we're setting it up, how to run the tubing to the sump, and control the drip line. I already have these pre-drill holes in the wall here behind my display tank. They line up with where my sump is now. So that's where I'm going to run the tubing through, and I'm going to allow it to drip here before my water returns back to the tank. Those holes are there because I used to run a canister on a tank that I had here previously, but I since upgraded to the sump. Here is the container. You can see the sediment has formed at the bottom. We definitely don't want to suck that up, send it to the tank, so we want to be just above that. And you can see my airline tubing in there. And this is just a closet on the back side of where the display tank is, so it runs through here, down the closet wall, and then through the wall. And here's our tubing stuck through the wall. I'm gonna pull some of this slack through, make sure we have plenty. I might have to make sure we're not hung up anywhere on the other side. We got a couple little tugs. We're gonna feed that back through, just to where I'll be able to easily, we're gonna feed that back through just to where I'll easily be able to grab it once this door is open. Let's get in here. And there is our tubing. So at this point, you can do one of two things. I'm going to try something that I didn't initially plan on doing, just because, like a lot of other fish keepers, I keep everything. So I found this little guy where I can let the inlet come in here and then put a small piece of tubing on as an outlet so I can control the drip. Now, I don't know if the calc is going to clog this up and cause me problems or not. Honestly, the safer, more simple way would just be to create a siphon and tie a knot in that, but I've got this. Figure why not try and use it. So let's get it hooked up here. Okay, so the hoses are hooked up in there. I've got this this back valve closed, this one open. Like I said, we're just gonna try this. I'm not sure if it's gonna be better than tying a knot or not. So then I've got another piece of tubing out here because when I start the siphon, I don't want to get a big rush of Kalkwasser into the aquarium, so this is going to allow me time to adjust that valve. So I'm going to try and start this siphon here. And there we have it. Let's see where this is going. There's a Kalkwasser. I'm going to adjust this valve. Even too fast. Now I've got that valve all the way closed. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that and see if. Yeah, I'm not a fan. We've got an inconsistent drip here. The valve is leaking. So what we're gonna do is, honestly, the leak off the valve is kind of what I want, but we're gonna go ahead and take this valve off here and just. Hey man, can you quote? We're just gonna take this valve off here and tie that in a knot. Okay, so I've started the siphon, tied this in a knot. We've got a nice slow drip here. I might tighten that down, even slow that down some more. I just would much rather do this the slow, safe route than try and push too much through and potentially hurt the fish. Okay, I've adjusted that knot here. We're getting about a drip a second, and that's really what we're shooting for. It's gonna be gentle. It's gonna gradually add it. I'm gonna get this just to hang out here over the, I would prefer not run down the side there, where it's just gonna drip. And slowly add that to the aquarium. A great way to fasten these air lines in place, I have found, are these clothespins. I picked up a pack of 20 of these at the dollar store, and the opening, I'll pull this off, is, I mean, perfect for airline tubing. What do we got there? I can just clip this right here on the top of my sump. It's gonna hold it in place for me, right where I need it. I also use these same style of clips because I keep mangroves in my display tank, mostly because I'm a plant guy and I just think they look cool. I have to figure out a lighting situation here though, because the lights not being where they like are causing them to bend and grow over. But these clothespins are just a great little tool that you can find out for nothing. So really that's it, guys. That's how we can put a Kalkwasser Doser together for really the cost of nothing. I mean, most of you guys out there are gonna have a lot of these materials laying around if you've been doing this for a little while. If not, we're talking about airline tubing. You can pick that up for nothing, a plastic container, and a way to punch a hole in it, and then you just have to purchase the Kalkwasser itself. Now, I would definitely keep an eye on it, and don't forget about that that jug we've got stored up in the closet there, because we'd hate for it to run empty and have an inconsistency in our levels in the tank. But appreciate you guys watching, tuning in. Thanks very much.